Thank you for Patreon now for donating to the Patreon.
Hey guys, Vanity Ezel back on the Card Fight Vanguard, Ezel on the Vanity Week of If you enjoyed them, like, comment, subscribe, and start, shall we? So this time, we've got a lot of new things. I think Bushy fucked up, me personally, because they give us a lot more news than they normally would. We have 3 new ride lines at the very early, if my memory is correct, we're getting 3 new ride lines. One, we're at least getting the Chronojet Grade 3 himself today. If we're not getting it that today, then it's Thursday, but I'm not so sure, I don't really remember. But we got the new CEO ride line, which Bushy fucked up on because they accidentally gave us it a week early, or most of it except for the Grade 3, so that's pretty cool. And not to mention, we have a new ride line for Lyrical Monasterio, so let's go ahead and get this shit started because Bushy wanted to bombard me with reveals today. So first up, we have Early Adopter Rovizia, Grade 3 200 Persona Ride, 13k base. Oh my gosh, it looks so cute with like the, I want to say those are bunny ears. Act rear, cost, retire this unit, choose a Lyrica Shooting Star S from your drop zone, add it to hand. So cool, if you don't remember the, Lyrical Monasterio ride line from last week focused on that very specific order, which again, I really love that Bushy is like pushing more orders to nations. That isn't Brand Gate. My thing is, I want more orders for everyone. Like more, well, I guess we have a lot of good orders, but like, you know what I mean? Like orders that are meant to be staples of the deck. Because to my memory, Keter's the only one so far that I can think of that doesn't necessarily require an order for you to build it. Yes, the orders help, but doesn't require it. And same with Bruce. So, or at least like Dark State. So that's my opinion on it. Rovizia though, all around is a good grade 3. I like her. Maybe I'd run her for my deck, like in the early parts of Lyrical Monasterio, such as because it can get back my main resource for the Lyrical Shooting Star for free, but who knows? I'm giving her like a 2 of or 3 of, just because. Then we have Best Choice Lomadia, so she better be good for that Best Choice. Grade 1, boost 5k shield, 8k base. Act rear if your Vanguard is a grade 3 or greater with Kyoka in its card name. Okay, so that's either built for premium or we're getting a grade 4. Put this unit to soul, choose a grade 2 or grade unit from your drop zone with a different name than your Vanguard, put it on top of your deck. Cool, nice way to like deck stack for the skill. If I remember correctly, the Kyoka skill allows you to call a unit from the top card, so that's pretty good because now you can use this to get Lyrical Shooting Stars, which requires different grades on board, use this to get it back, and then use Kyoka skill to get this on the board, and now you can use Lyrical Shooting Stars. All around, nice real combo. I think this thing's actually amazing, so now I might actually run this out of 3 of and then bump this up to a 4 because she can loop with Kyoka skill, and I really like her. I think she's an amazing grade 1. She looks good too, so why not 4 of? Then we have our new Lyrical Monasterio ride line already. First start, Hazlet, grade 0 boost, 5k shield, 6k base, standard starter, auto when road upon if you want second, draw a card. Nothing too special about it. It's just the standard starter. I mean, take that as you will. I do like the bunny ear concept. I am a bunny person, but yeah, sure, why not use this starter, because even though none of the ride line requires it. And then we have Bouncing Gate Hazlet. So a grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base. Here's my opinion on this ride line. I like only the grade 1. The other 3 can go fuck themselves for all I care. So grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base. And not in that way, you dirty-minded people. Auto when it's rode upon by a grade 2 unit with Hazlet in its card name. Choose to 1 grade 2 or less normal unit from your hand, call to rear guard till end of turn. It gets plus 2k in auto rear at the end of attack to draw a card and put this unit to bottom. Okay, all around that's pretty good. For those of you that are about to find out, Hazlet is built around you sending your units back to the deck. So kind of like the Ghost Cow one. God damn, I almost forgot about Fel Rosa. So yeah, kind of like Felty Rosa, except slightly different. So pretty cool. We're getting more numbers on it, and you're like basically replacing the unit because 1, it doesn't have to hit, 2, you're just getting the draw, and it works for an early game rush. So cool. Unfortunately, just like all the Lyrical Monasterio ride lines, there's no point to run in the main deck because it has no skill, but rear, but whatever, it's still a good grade 1, so might not make it our right deck 1. Especially because if they make another Hazlet grade 2, that means we can use it with this one instead of having to use the one we currently have. Not saying the one we currently have is bad, I'm just saying. Speaking of which, we have Indecisive Pure White Hazlet, grade 2 intercept, 5k shield, 10k base, auto when it's rode upon by a grade 3 with Hazlet in its card name. Again, they are hinting that we're going to get like an alternate ride line, because that's 2 cards now that do that. Soul Blast 1, choose a grade 3 or less card from your hand, call it to rear guard, and if you called a card, draw a card. Cool. So basically, on rode upon, Soul Blast 1, get a free call and draw. I don't need to tell you why this is good. You run it out as a 1 of in your ride deck. There's no reason to run in the main deck. Run it as a 1 of in your ride deck. It speaks for itself why it's good. Then we have our grade 3 who has a nice water dripping background, which honestly is the only thing I love about this card. Iridescence Palette Hazlet. If that's supposed to be a pun on Incandescent, I am offended because, as you all know, Incandescent Lion Blonde Ezel is my favorite grade 3 of all time. And I feel offended if that's supposed to be an incandescent reference because I don't like how she looks. Anyways, grade 3, 200 persona, right, 13k base. Act Van once per turn. Counter boss 1, choose 5 of your normal unit rear guards till end of turn. They get plus 2k and auto rear at the end of the battle they attacked. Draw a card, put this unit to bottom, and then if you chose 3 or more units, she gets plus 10. Okay, so let me get this straight. Counter boss 1, if you have a full board, well, granted, it says just choose 5 of your normal units rear guards. You don't have to. You just have to pick 3. You pick 3. They're all getting plus 2. Let's just say you do pick 5. You have 3 back row, probably 10k boosters on their own, and probably a front row of at least 12k attackers, and now your Vanguard swinging for 23. This deck feels like what I would expect from a trial deck where the main grade 3 has 1 skill, but any amount of support breaks this deck. Because already we're hitting like fantastic numbers, and we can just stick with this ride line. Stick with this ride line, provide any generic amount of support, and Hazlet becomes a broken beast. I mean, maybe not broken, but whew, numbers already, I see. 2k doesn't seem like a lot, but it does add up, so, you know, that's good. It pumps up numbers, doesn't require 5 units, it's just best to have 5 units, and you get a free draw to replace the units, so it's not like your opponent's gonna... So controlled matchups are easier now, unless they manage to lock you down from calling, so... Yeah, don't play this in Premium where Mega Colony exists, and you'll be fine. So, 3 of in the main deck, 1 of in the ride deck of Hazlet. Then we have her support, obviously, because she was revealed on a Thursday, so she got it immediately. Adorable Shooter Canfier. I just realized the specifics of this card. So, grade 2 on a 5k shield, 10k base. Auto when it's placed on a rear guard from hand if your Vanguard has a hazelnut in its card name. Hazlet. I'm just going to call it hazelnut because that's how I see it. Put a grade 2 or less card from your hand into soul. Okay, look at top 7, then choose up to either 1 grade 3 with 12k power or less, 1 grade 2 with 9k power or less, and 1 grade 1 with 7k power or less, and call in the rear guard. Shuffle your deck. If you do not call, draw a card. Okay, for those of you wondering why it specifies that, if you look very closely at all of the really good generic, or maybe just generic cards in general, for Lyrica Monasterio, you'll see that all the generic ones, or the really good ones at least, have very different bases from the normal ones. You see, you can tell if it's normal support or not, whether it like specifies a card's name or not, because it has an 8k base. If it doesn't have an 8k base, that means it has a good skill that can be used with every deck. Like, it wasn't specified that it was, or like it wasn't specifically made for one deck in mind, it can work for another deck just because it happened to share a mechanic. No, so let me get this. So she basically gets you every good generic card. There is no reason not to run her in your Hazlet deck at 4. She gets you Soul, she doesn't cost Counterbox, she doesn't cost Soul Box, she literally gets you a rear guard, and if your top 7 was shit, because maybe you just saw triggers, or maybe you saw things you didn't want to call, you get a draw out of it. No reason not to run her at a 4 of. Then we have Rainbow Future Sharon, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 6k base. Oh, I wonder who this was made for. Auto rear when this unit boosts a rear guard if you have a grade 3 or greater. Okay, they say grade 3 or greater again. Are we getting a Hazlet grade 4 next set? Because we got that for Kyoka and we got that for Hazlet in his card name. This unit gets plus 5 for the battle. So cool, 11k base plus this thing. So that's a 13k base on a booster. And then at the end of the battle, you may Soul Boss 1. If you do, choose one of your rear guards in the center back row and move it to an open front row rear. So that's Soul you got for free. You get rid of it and swap the unit probably in the back center for this. I like how before, when Overdrift was just starting, decks had to wait, unless their deck focused on the restanding mechanic, decks kind of had to wait like 1 to 3 sets depending on who they were to get restanding capabilities or multi-attack capabilities. I like how Lyrica Monasterio just said fuck it, and with their 2 new ride lines, they both have restand abilities right out the gate. And this is just good. Just running at a 4 of, clearly there's no reason not to. I mean, you get a searcher for it. You get the same searcher that gives you soul for its skill. You get multi-attack because this just sends whatever unit attack to bottom. It's a good 4 of, why the hell not? Then we have Cat's Cradle Shape Sophie, grade 2 set 5k shield, 8k base. Okay. I gotta say, I love the green hair. Active rear once per turn. When your other rear guard is put to bottom of the deck during your battle phase, Soul Boss 1 gets plus 10 for the turn. Okay, I think I see Bushy's approach to this. They're gonna, like... Bushy's approach to this is this, to Hazlet. They know it's powerful because we already have a multi-attacker. They know there's going to be an issue with this. Here's what they're deciding to do to fix that problem. They're trying to make everything that deck uses as support, except for the really good triple rare, to cost soul. Here's my argument to that. You forget that this same triple rare literally searches the grade 3 that says on boost, shove itself to soul, 5k power to somewhere. At the end of the battle, it was boosted. I don't think Bushy can fix this problem. They've already broken this deck. It's too late. They can't fix it. So now we just got a free 10k, so that's cool. And then act rear. At the end of the battle, this unit attack hits a Vanguard, put it to bottom, draw a card, counter charge 1. Okay, so great. Now there's no reason to let this one hit, because before, yeah, it was already a 10k plus the 10 from maybe a Persona Rare plus the 10 from its own skill. Cool. Regardless if it hit or not, you get to send it to bottom and draw a card. But now they have to guard her, because if they don't guard her, she still goes to bottom. You still get a draw, but now you get a counter charge to use this thing again. Also, if you haven't noticed, she's the only one in this deck so far that costs Counterblast. 4 of. This is such a good card. Like, now there's on hit pressure. Great, we have restand, on hit, board plus. What's next, Bushy? What's fucking next? +1 crit to Van and nullify your opponent's PGs. I'd love to see that. Bushy, please don't do this. I swear to God, if that's what the grade 4 version is, because I'm assuming we're getting one. If that's what it does, I'll be so disappointed in you. 4 of Sophie, why the fuck not? Then we have Soften Fluffy Lunch Cowella. I can already hear the simps crying at the cowgirl. Grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 6k base. Or I assume it's a cowgirl because I kind of see the horns of a cow. I also really love that box. I cannot tell. Is that like a girl? I can see clouds. I can think of it as an ocean with clouds over it. I can just think of it like a dark blue sky. I can see it as like a cow or like a ghost face. I can't really tell. I can see a dragon face in it too. So auto rear, when your other rear guard is put into bottom deck during battle phases, if you have Vanguard, Hazel in its card name gets +5. So we have +10, multi-attack, get a call, and every time something is sent to bottom, get +5. Bushy's making this really hard not to make this deck broken. Okay, so this has to boost your rear guard, so it's not truly broken, but like... Actually, no, it is, because if you just swing with Vanguard last... Oh, wait, no, you can't, because like all the loops you have to... Point is, good card, 4 of, fuck this out of 4 of, put this out of 3 of, put this as a 4 of, it's obvious why, just a 10k before... I don't fucking care anymore, I stopped caring. Now we move on to Gallant Flare Dragon. Okay, for all of you that are wondering, this is not a prayer dragon, but at the same time, I say to you, it doesn't fucking matter. As someone who plays cross-dress, I run 8 prayer dragons. Yes, no. I either run 8 or 10. Point is, I consistently see them. We don't need another prayer dragon. Do we want another prayer dragon? Yeah, sure. Would it be nice? Yeah, sure. Do we need it? Fuck no. So, anyways, grade 2 and 5k shield, 10k base. But again, it's not a prayer dragon. It's a flame dragon. Fuck. Act rear, counterboss 1, jump to soul. Choose one of your vanguards, and it gets auto van. When this unit attacks, hits a vanguard, draw a card, counter charge 1 until end of turn. Okay, so it's not a once per turn. I know I'm reading into this way too much, but I feel like this was made for a Vanguard restand. I just remembered we have Overlord. God damn it. I was trying to like think of, do we have a restanding Vanguard? I thought of like Tamayura, Nirvana, both of them by the way, Baz Fagra, Eugene, and I was like, nope, we don't have a restanding Vanguard. Cool, that means we're gonna get a new restanding Vanguard mechanic, or like a deck that already exists that gets a restanding Vanguard. Then I remembered, fuck, we have Overlord. Yep, so I think this is meant for Overlord support. I mean, it works for other decks, especially because you can just start sacking the over, but yeah, all around Gallant Flare is cool and all. He's nice. In my opinion, not needed, because technically if he doesn't hit, you're wasting a counterblast to get a soul, and there are much better ways to get a soul. And typically I know a lot of people that would block the Vanguard anyways, unless your rear guard was 10 times more dangerous, for example, Garo Verena. But like, if they have the cards to block both, you can bet your ass they're gonna block both, so... I don't know, if you're putting this in your deck for soul, there are much better and easier ways to get soul without having to pay a counterblast cost. And if you're putting this in your deck for other reasons, then go ahead, and I would love to hear them, unless it's Overlord. In that case, it's kind of pretty obvious. So, you know, 2 of, 3 of, why not? Then we have our ride land that Bushy kind of fucked up on revealing. So I waited to record this till we got the grade 3 because I didn't want to make speculations. But for the record, we had this for a week and I couldn't test play, and I was so upset because I wanted to use it. So first up, we have Blitz Mechanic Burton, grade 0 boost, 5k shield, 6k base, auto and Rotopon for 1 second draw card. So nice about it. If you're wondering why it has the frameware, that's what Bushy fucked up on. They revealed the frameware versions. Then we have Blitz Programmer Stranza, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base, auto wins Rotopon search your deck or hand for up to 1 grade 1 product card. Put it to your order zone. If you search your deck, shuffle it, and if you put it from hand, draw a card. Okay, I love that. I really thought, like, when they did it with Lyrica, with, like, the song Girls Lorinal, I really thought they were going to do it here with Stranza. Or not Stranza, I thought they were going to do it with Brankgate. They didn't, and I was kind of disappointed in that, because I really thought that would be, like, a Brankgate thing, where, like, they search the deck and the hand. But, hey, Stranza gets it either to the order zone from hand or deck, and the good part is, if you put it from hand, you get to draw a card, and again, it says, put it into the order zone, not play it. Meaning, if you have another order, you can play it. Because that's how the rulings worked on Lorinal, if I remember correctly. And even if it's not, it's how it works on Orphist, and Orphist has the same wording. So, all around pretty good. I like how it specifies grade 1. I thought we were only going to get the grade 3 product, the giant base thing, which we also got revealed today. But, pretty good that it basically guarantees that we're going to have 3 different ones. And I say that because I already looked at the grade 2. But, yeah, you get the point. So, Strands is pretty good. No rear guard skill, unfortunately. But, yeah, one of in the right deck. Then we have Blitz Technical Researcher Yuba, grade 2 set 5k shield, 10k base. Activan, once per turn, still last one, choose a product card from your order zone and operate it. Activate its operation ability. Okay, so here's the thing. We only have one order right now to go off of. I don't remember for sure if it says operation ability or if it says something else. But cool, basically, Soul Blast 1, do what the order is meant to do. Cool. And then auto, when it's Rotopon, put a product card in your order zone to drop zone. Search your deck or hand for up to 1 grade 2 product card, put it to your order zone, and if you search your deck, shuffle it, and if you put it from hand, draw a card. So cool. Same ability. Downside is you have to sack one of your orders, so clearly this is a deck with revolving orders, but on the bright side, both of the skills doesn't cost Counter Blast, surprisingly, and he also allows you basically to deck thing. Granted, it has to be a grade 2 product, but A, it's still good. I like you, but I think he's a really good grade 2. Unfortunately, there's no reason to run him in the rear main deck, but yeah, he actually has one of my favorite ride line skills because he has 2 different abilities, an on-Rotopon skill and a Vanguard skill. So yeah, one of them in the ride deck, unfortunately none in the main deck. Now then we have our main grade 3, who, you know what? When I first saw his Japanese text in the episode today, I thought it was a joke because I didn't believe his text was that short. But you know what? His text not only that short, but it's actually really good. I also just like his art now. I don't know why. Before I just didn't like his art, but seeing him with card text, I think he looks pretty cool. And boss too. And maybe it's just that's the character that used him now, because now I like that guy a lot. I really do like Taizo. Taizo's one of my favorite characters now. So, anyways, grade 3 200 Sunrise, 13k base. Auto Van, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, choose a product card from your order zone and activate. Activates activation ability. Okay. So again, I say, was this just a misinterpretation? Because remember, Bushy did reveal this early. This was on time. This was early. Now, was operate meant to say activate? Because if it was, then that's understandable. I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. So, cool. On attack, basically, freely activate your order. Unless it has a cost attached to it. So that's already really good. And then Auto Van, when you activate a product, this unit gets +5 for the turn. So here's the thing. That means if you activate it twice, once during your main phase, once during your battle phase, he's a 23k swinger. But 1, it's not a once per turn. So if you keep doing it, he gets more power. And 2, we know from the episode that there's a grade 2, I believe it's a grade 2, that activates your order if this is your Vanguard. So we know for sure that this boy's gonna be really good. I love that he doesn't cost Counter Blast. I love that he doesn't cost Soul Blast. I love that he doesn't cost Discard. I really thought I was gonna like him just because of the way he looked. That's my bad. Should have never judged a book on by its cover. But holy fuck, he is actually really good. The 5k power for free, which is definitely gonna happen at least twice a turn once we get that grade 2. The being able to activate an order for free, like, it's so fucking good. Whoever did this, I give you a round of applause. Like, I actually like that skill. I think it's really good. 3 of in the main deck, 1 of in the ride deck. And then we have our order. So we didn't get the other ones revealed for us. I can tell you what both of them do, more or less. The grade 1 one is just on place, kill an opponent's rear guard. If you didn't kill anything, draw a card. The grade 2 one is also the same thing. Maybe you don't get to draw, I don't remember. And by the way, it has to be a front or rear guard, if I didn't say that. So the grade 2 one, again, it's a front or rear guard. I'm not so sure if you get to draw or not if you don't kill an opponent's front or rear guard. But I do know for a fact that when you sacrifice it, or like when you activate it, they also lose 5k power if I remember correctly, and maybe I'm wrong on that. But then mobile, oh wait, no, sorry, if they don't kill a rear guard, you take 5k power away from their vanguard. And then mobile fortress of obliteration, Fried shoots maximum. If I come to learn in the dub that sounds like German, because I don't know why when I see the letter F and a Z at the end, I always think it's German. But oh my god, if this is a German route, I'm gonna laugh my ass off. So grade 3 set order with a cool ass background and a fucking giant tank. Activation auto order zone, by the way, continues. It cannot be played. So I'm assuming that's what all of them are. So you can't place them into order zone. You have to place them by special effects, which sucks, but whatever. Franzu maximum activation auto order zone. When this card is activated by either the Vanguard's ability over here or anyone's ability really, choose one of your opponent's rear guards, murder it, and then choose one of your opponent's vanguards. They lose 5 for the turn. So cool, when you're swinging them with Vanguard, you can just for free make their Vanguard lose make their Vanguard lose 5, kill one of their rear guards, unlike the other two, which force it to be a front rear guard, and then your Vanguard gets +5. So cool, if they're at grade 3, your Vanguard's at 18, their Vanguard's at 8, and now 15k, which was originally a 2 to pass, is now a fuck you 1 to pass. So, and pretty much stopped by a booster. Cool, but then, by counterblasting one and returning a rear guard to your hand, you may call this card to an open rear guard circle as a 23k +1 critical normal unit. And if you called it, put it to the order zone at the end of the turn. So, you get 4 attacks. And you get a Persona right on top of that, that's a 33 double critical beat stick. While the opponent's at least at 8k. And if you combine it with that one grade 2, I think it is, they're at 3k against 33 double crit. Or single crit. Now, here's my thing. It's not a once per turn. So, if we get another way to activate order zones during, or this thing from the battle phase outside of Welvesta over here, and you find a way to set a second one, we have 5 attacks. I'm not saying we will, but I'm just saying if we do, 5 attacks. And from the looks of it, this deck does not cost that much counterblast. So, yeah, don't go to 4 against this deck. That's all I'm gonna say. This deck, it's Dragoid basically, but it's that some of the power dropping went to rearguard killing instead. So take it as you will. So either way, really good order. I think it's amazing for a Ralstra deck. And then comes our next 2 reveals. First up, we have Positive Mind Elsa, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 7k base, continues rearguard. During your turn, this unit gets +2k for every 2 units you control. Okay, cool. So pretty good, because that means normally she's going to have a total of 11k base. Wait, no, 13k base all around. That's a pretty good booster. It is a essentially a grade 3 booster, and that's pretty nice. Though I do say we have better boosters that don't require you having a full board to get the +2. So she is good for generic support, I'll give her that. So for some reasons, prices skyrocket and you can't get like the really good support cards because maybe they're just a little bit too out of your price range. Also definitely makes up for that because she can hit the same numbers as they can if you have a full board, and a lot of lyrical decks I think can definitely make a good board. So around us is pretty nice. In a budget deck, I say like a 4 of, and a non-budget deck, maybe just don't run her because like I said, they can typically get the 5k on their own, but either way else is a nice card to consider running. And then we have a Song for the Sunset Minmai, so grade 3 Persona, 13k, 11k base. Huh. Who's the other one that had an 11k base? You know, it doesn't fucking matter. You want to know why? It can be abused with this thing. So, and guess what? Her skill happens to also involve the bottom decking. So, seems very familiar. Grade 3, yeah, I already went over the stats, but also, I like the earring there. It makes me think that she's a Willista card, but I know she's not. Anyways, auto rear, when this unit attacks, choose one of your other units in the same column as it, and you may give that unit +5 for the turn. And if you do, put it to the bottom put this unit to the bottom of the deck at the end of the battle. So, if you boost it with a unit, that just gives 5k to this unit, clears up your board, and because technically the effects trigger at the same time, you can use Hazelnut first to get some draws. So all around pretty good, but not to mention the fact that if the unit you're swapping with the grade 1 that Soul Boss wanted to swap a rear guard with is the unit behind this thing, then, you know, you can just pump that unit, send this unit to bottom, get that draw, use that unit skill, Soul Blast 1, swap a unit, etc. It's stupid bullshit you can do. All around, Minmai is a pretty good grade 3, and honestly, probably the grade 301 for Hazelnut if we end up needing a backup grade 3, so cool. Thanks a lot, Bushy, you gave us a good weapon.
Okay, so we got a lot more reveals because apparently Bushy wanted to do that today, so let's go ahead and get these reveals going. First up, we have some promos for Dark Irregulars and I want to say the other one was from Med Colony, Convetius Succubus, grade 2 units of 5k shield, 9k base, continues guard circle. If your soul has 6 or more cards, this unit gets plus 5k shield, and if your soul has 10 or more cards, it gets plus 10k power instead of 5k shield. So, instead of having a 10k interceptor, you get a 19k swinger. Okay. Fair deal. And then auto rear once per turn when this unit attacks. If your soul has 6 or more cards, put one of your other rear guards to soul, counter charge 1. Then if your soul has 10 or more cards, draw 2, choose a card from hand, put it to soul. Oh my god, okay. I have been abusing this thing in 0. The counter charge is always really good. The draw is always really good, but I hate the fact I have to discard. I'm so glad now that it goes to soul. I mean, it's not going to change how it works in 0, but, like, so glad the Convit sets it to soul. Still gets that counter charge, was really good for my Dark Irregulars deck that kind of has counter blast problem, so all around, easy to pull off, good skill all around, nice thing, 4 of. Then we have Charming Mutant Sweet Cocktail, grade 2 and 5k shield, 9k base. Auto is upon, choose any one of your opponent's rear guards with any cradle markers on it, put a cradle on it. Cool, okay, so cradle, like, drops their power to 0, and if I remember correctly, it prevents them from using their abilities? Question mark. Then auto when it's put on guard circle or attacks a grade 2 or greater vanguard from rear guard by soul blasting 1. Your opponent chooses one of their standing rear guards, kill it, and if they do not retire, you draw a card and all your framework is plus 5. Okay, that is so dangerous because if you get them in the situation where they just don't have standing rear guards, that's technically a possible free plus 10 to your front row, and that's equivalent to a Persona Ride. Thankfully, it doesn't give the vanguard a continuous kill, so all around Sweet Cocktail is pretty good. Definitely a nice new grade 2 for the Cradle deck, and not to mention just like getting pluses for the attack, so Run as a 4 for Cradle. Then we have more product cards for the Blitz Ride line. So we have official news, like it's only the maximum this thing that cannot be normal played from hand. The other 2 can be played from hand normally. So the grade 1 order is called Incandescent Flame Cannon Passol. So after set order is played, put it to order zone, operate auto order zone. When this card is operated on, choose one of your opponent's front or rear guards, kill it. If they did not kill, draw a card, choose a card from hand, discard it. Okay, I was mostly right on its go earlier. I just said you had to draw, I forgot you had to discard for it. So all around, pretty good. Doesn't cost any cards. The second it's operated, you kill an opponent's rear guard in the front row, and if you don't kill it, you get a draw and a discard. Decent order. I don't want to say you want to run this out of 1 of, because remember, this is the only Branke Ride line to my memory that activates on road upon instead of on place, which basically means that if you don't draw this, or like if it gets damage checked, you're fucked, because you need this. So, you know, maybe run it as 2 over 3 of, like I'm doing out of paranoia, but yeah, take that as you all around, it's pretty good. And remember, you can continuously set it. The only one you can't set is maximum, so all around good for retiring targets, so 2 over 3 of, depending on your playstyle. Then we have Heavy Strike Cannon Fortress Friend Shoots, grade 2 normal order. After a set order is played, put it to order zone, operate auto order zone. When this card is operated on, choose one of your opponent's front or rear guards, kill it. If they did not kill, choose an opponent's vanguard, lose 5. Okay, so exactly what I said before. Either they kill a rear guard in the front or they lose 5k. And then auto order zone, when your grade 3 or greater vanguard is placed from riding from a grade 3, put this to drop. Search deck or hand for up to 1 mobile Fortress of Obliteration Friend Suits maximum. Put it to order zone. If you search your deck, shuffle it, and if you put it from hand, draw a card. Okay, again, now once per turn, you're able to set this into your order zone. That means if you have 2 of these, when you Persona Ride, you get this. And the best part is, you don't need to actually be using the Blitz CEO for any of these to go off. I mean, technically you do, but technically you don't. So, yeah, that's actually a really good order. It gets the minus power when it's not on the grade 3 one, and then it can easily turn itself into the grade 1 for free. And again, you can just keep placing multiple copies of them and get more grade 3s. All around, front suit is really good. I swear to God, if we get the ability to give those things a boost, we're going to have hell rating. So, at this order, I think is pretty good. I think you should definitely run it as like a 4 of. Like, even though you get that search of it, you definitely want to try to hit as many maximum as possible. So, I think at least a 3 of or 4 of was really good for this thing. Because if we do get a card that can make those units get boost, you got 46 swing and column, so why not? Then we have some lyrical cards. So first up we have a grade 1 with boost 5k shield, 8k base, Mystica Pelosi, Jennifer, act rear once per turn. If you have 4 or more units, discard 1, choose a normal order from your drop, and it gets continuous. This card can be played from drop, and when it be put into your drop after play, put it to bottom of deck and set until end of turn. Cool, so pretty much that means your order just gets recycled. So that does kind of do some work for does some kind of work for Willista. If your orders end up in drop zones, you can quickly send them to soul instead of sending them to bottom. Or it could work for what's her name? Clarissa, you know, the dragon girl with the orders, except in my opinion, Clarissa doesn't have trouble, or that's not the issue with Clarissa for me, it's the issue is getting it into hand in the first place. So Jennifer all around is a nice grade 1. I like her, she's really generic, she can definitely help out most with Willista and Krillissa. That's so hard to say. So Jennifer, maybe a 2 over 3 of in those decks, but again, they have their own respective things, so who knows. Then we have Approaching Summer Alachachi, grade 2 and 5k shield, 10k base, auto, when it's placed on rear by your ability of your grade 3 or greater Vanguard, it gets plus 5. So, works with the new Kyoka ride line. I think we all know who this is supposed to work for, though, especially based off of the second skill, which is auto rear when you're the rear guard is when you're the rear guard is returned to your hand by your Vanguard's ability. What is the only grade 3 or grade 4 I know that returns by Vanguard's ability in a D? Choose one of your Vanguards gets plus 5. So basically, with Kari, your Vanguard's swinging for 23. I mean, it kind of doesn't do any... We know it does do something because Kari's on swing. So, all around, pretty good. Increases the Vanguard's numbers ever so slightly, pushing out a harder guard, and she's all around a good grade 2 to have on board. So if you have her in back center, it's pretty good because at least the Vanguard's plusing. So, I like her. I think she's a nice grade 2. 2 over 3 of an Akari deck, because I don't say it needs it, but it's nice to have. Then we have Cooling Heart Eureka, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base, auto rear when your other unit is in the same column as it's placed. If your Vanguard's a grade 3 or greater, or if your opponent's Vanguard's a grade 3 or greater, this unit gets plus 5 for the turn. Okay. And then auto rear, at the end of the battle, this unit boosted rear guard, sold plus 1, choose one of the boosted rear guards, put it to hand. I have been having trouble with my Kari deck recently of getting like consistent multi-attacks because I've had open rear guard circles. Eureka straight up fixes that. Because I always have soul to spare. Eureka is good. I like this thing. My Kari deck just got 10 times better. 3 of in my Kari deck. Because she just fixes everything. And then we have 2 more reveals, and one of them being Chronojet. So, as you can see, he doesn't have Persona Ride. He doesn't have normal stats. He's an 11k with grade 3 and Twin Drive. And now I'm not going to read his skill, because you can read it yourselves. But if you played G, you would know word for word this is the exact same skill. And if you don't believe me, I will go pull out my real life Chronojet right now and prove it to you. So, here's my thing with this. We just learned from Bushy, they are bringing strides into D. Officially, we're going to have a stride deck. From my understanding, we're going to have a stride deck. Now, it's only going to be Chronojet that can do this, so it's not like anything from Dark States that's actually it. It's not like everyone's getting it. It is specifically Chronojet. How this is going to work, I don't know. Bushy said they're revealing it next week. Do I agree with this? No, because they might make some things more broken. But at the same time, if they're just going to stay with the OG skills, I don't see an issue with it. Because this is word for word the exact same skill, but my issue with it is I expected a different unit. Or at least like, a better skill or like a more D-based skill. So like, I'm guessing since it's just going to be striding based, I'm hoping the strides at least have new skills so that there's something to look forward to. Otherwise, like, well, it's a cool thing and all. I feel kind of disappointed if we're just going to have the same exact skills just with different arts. This is not my thing, but whatever. Cool, Chronojet, I guess. And then a few weeks from now, I believe the week of the 23rd, or not the week of the, or it might be next week, or it might be the week after that, we get Chrono Dragon Next Stage. Okay, this one I like the art of. That's fucking cool. That is so cool. Okay, so yeah, that confirms it right here. The 15k plus, the grade 4 triple drive. I'm assuming the reason why this thing has an 11k base is because if you made it a 13k base, that means all strides are immediately at 20k for a 1 to pass instead of a 15. So, yeah. All around, that's it for this week's reveals. Do I agree with the new Chronojet stuff? Kind of, depending on where they go with this. Otherwise, I'm kind of like 50-50. The new Bunny Ride line seems pretty good, and I cannot wait to try Blood CEO right after this. So I'm going to end it here. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord, follow Twitch, and I'll see you on this one. Don't forget to stand up your Vanguards.